Hey guys, it's a beautiful spring morning, and today what I'm going to be covering is how to make char cloth. Now this is something I think that every survivalist, prepper, or whatever you guys want to call yourselves needs to know. It's a skill that, although you could carry around a tin full of, cotton balls with Vaseline, with a lighter or some ferro rod, that would be fine. Learning how to make char cloth is actually a really important skill, because learning how to make fire out of these applies to so many other friction fire methods like a bow drill, a hand drill, and so on. So I'm going to demonstrate basically how you can make this really simple indoors without a lot of fuss, and basically also show you real quick how beneficial this stuff is in terms of learning true technique for making primitive fire and so on. So basically all I have is a tin here. This is from I think it's from an old gun pellet tin that held little pellets, but this could be an Altoids tin, a chew tin, or anything like that. Basically something that has a lid, a cover, and then you just punch a hole in the top with a nail. I don't know if you can see that here. But anyways, we'll go inside and I'll show you how to make it, but before that let me just give you a quick demo on making a fire simply from char cloth. Alright, so I just went out and collected some of this stuff here from the landscape. Basically I have some dried pine needles, and in the middle of that I took some, I think they were old milkweed skeletons, basically the dead skin from it, stripped it and then just fluffed it up with my hands. I'm essentially going to take this char cloth, place it right in the middle, and then I'll just throw a ferro rod over my knife, or my knife over the ferro rod to send a spark, but this could be flint and steel as well. It just needs a tiny spark to get this stuff going, so I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this, but I'm just going to send a quick spark onto the char cloth. Already just a small spark is starting to turn it into an ember. You can see it glowing. Let me raise this camera here for a second. I'll try to blow on this so you guys can see this. Alright, so hopefully I'll just blow on it, but you can see the ember starting to form. So I'm just going to wrap that in the tinder bundle here and start blowing it into a flame. So there you go. You got some fire. Alright guys, so how did I go make the char cloth? Again, we're back indoors here now. I'm going to show you how quickly and easily you can do it even indoors without making a lot of fuss or mess and smoking out your spouse. So basically, you can use any type of cotton. I'm using a couple cotton balls here, but in reality this could be a piece of old t-shirt, cotton t-shirt. Again, make sure it's not polyester or synthetics, but a cotton t-shirt, even one of those flat pads that the girls use to remove the makeup, those flat cotton pads, those are great too. Again, any piece of cotton. And in a future video I'm going to show you actually stuff from even outdoors that you can make char cloth. In reality it's really charcoal, but a special kind of charcoal that you wouldn't be using in a grill or something like that. So I can show you that in a future video, but for this one, let's just cover the standard char cloth. But again, basically all you need is just some type of tin, an Altoids tin, a chew tin, something like that, and punching a hole at the top with a nail. So let's go to the oven and I'll show you how to do this. Alright guys, so I'm just going to turn my stove top on. Could be a gas stove or an electric stove like this, but basically just turn it on, place the tin on top with the cotton inside. Again, make sure that there's a hole in the top. This is going to provide an exhaust port for the smoke. And for indoors, because it does smoke a little bit, outdoors you wouldn't have to worry about this, but for indoors you can do something a little bit different, which I'll show you in a second here. So we'll let this heat up. Alright, so it's been about a minute or two and we can start to see some good amount of smoke coming out the top. To prevent it from really smoking out your house, just take some flame source and light the top. And all it does is prevent now it from smoking. You've essentially lit up the gas from the partial combustion. And it's very similar to like a gasifier, a wood gasifier, where you're lighting up wood gas. So you just let that flame until the flame goes out. When the flame goes out, there's no more gas, and it means it's done. If you were doing this outdoors on a heat source like a fire or outdoor grill, then you can just let it smoke. And then when it stops smoking, then you know that it's done. All right, the flame source is starting to die down now. So we'll let this completely die out, and then we know then that the char cloth is complete. All right, just finished this off. It's cooled down. We can see the 2 cotton balls are now charred perfectly. So try it out, guys. Let me know what you think. See ya.